For a long time, China reigned supreme over the global battery supply chain. It was China that transformed lithium into a powerful geoeconomic weapon, concentrating around 95% of global LFP battery production and controlling over 90% of the refining process for this metal. Beijing became virtually irreplaceable. With every new electric car that rolled off a Western assembly line, there was, invisibly, a Chinese signature behind it. But something is starting to change. And the man responsible for this turnaround is Elon Musk. With his unpredictable style, he seems to have found a loophole in this empire. A brilliant, lightweight, recyclable alternative, 30 times more abundant than lithium, aluminum. This metal is nothing new. It's already present in the structures of airplanes, satellites, power cables, and the countless cans we use every day. But now, aluminum takes on a new role, that of a protagonist in an energy revolution. The big difference lies in abundance. While lithium depends on a few countries and involves environmentally aggressive extraction processes, aluminum is found almost everywhere on the planet, including the United States. Today, there are over 700 million tons available, compared to just 22 million tons of lithium. This disparity completely changes the game and redefines who sets the rules. By replacing lithium with aluminum, Tesla isn't just seeking a technical solution. It's aiming directly at the heart of Chinese dominance, and, more than that, paving the way for unprecedented industrial and geopolitical independence. The idea is simple yet powerful. Use a metal that can be mined locally, with less environmental impact and much lower costs. Furthermore, by eliminating the need for cobalt and nickel, two elements also controlled by Chinese companies, Tesla quietly begins to dismantle the tripod that supported its empire, like someone slowly removing the legs from a chair without attracting attention. And the most fascinating thing is that this revolution isn't happening in some secret laboratory, but inside the Tesla Model 2, the company's most daring project yet. A car that promises to cost less than $20,000, but with enough technology to last decades. To achieve this feat, Tesla needed a battery that was cheap, efficient, and independent of political or logistical pressures. That's where aluminum comes in full force. Lightweight, affordable, recyclable, and widely available. Everything lithium never could. But the choice of this metal goes beyond engineering. It carries symbolic and strategic significance. It's as if Elon Musk is telling the world, without needing to utter a word, that he no longer intends to depend on a supply chain vulnerable to trade wars, pandemics, or arbitrary decisions by a superpower. Instead of going with the flow, Tesla decided to forge its own path. And this changes the course of everyone following: automakers, governments, suppliers, who will all have to rethink their strategies. This transformation impacts the entire production chain, from extraction to refining, from transportation to assembly. Each step becomes simpler, cheaper, and more sustainable. Battery manufacturing costs alone could fall by up to 52% with the use of aluminum, a figure capable of scaring competitors and delighting investors. And on a global scale, these savings translate into billions of dollars. The environmental benefits are also immense, which especially pleases European regulators, who are increasingly focused on sustainability. Little by little, what seemed like a mere technical decision is revealing itself to be a sophisticated geopolitical move. Interestingly, China, which has built its dominance on scarce resources and expensive processes, may find itself cornered without a single shot being fired. With aluminum, Tesla has chosen a lighter, cleaner, and freer path, one that threatens not only the profits of Chinese companies, but the entire logic of the battery market. This shift marks the beginning of a new technological era, and at the same time triggers a silent alarm in Beijing. For the first time in decades, the West's energy future can be decided without relying on Chinese mines, refineries, or subsidies. With a single metal, Tesla is tearing down a castle that took years to build, and the whole world watches. This time, not as hostages, but as protagonists. And if aluminum symbolizes freedom, efficiency is the engine driving this historic transformation. After all, aluminum-ion batteries don't just represent a change in material. They represent a complete revolution in electric vehicle performance. The first noticeable difference is the recharge time. While lithium-ion batteries still require 30 to 40 minutes at superchargers to reach 80% charge, The new aluminum-based model achieves a full charge in less than 10 minutes. This completely changes the user experience and eliminates one of the biggest psychological barriers that still keeps many people from electric cars. The secret to this speed lies in the battery's internal structure. Unlike lithium, which carries only one electron per ion, aluminum carries 3. This difference seems technical, but in practice it means something enormous. A much more intense movement of energy within the cell. It's like comparing an eyedropper to a faucet turned on full blast. This current density allows something that until recently sounded like science fiction, fully recharging a car in the time it takes to make a cup of coffee without overheating, without risking fire, and without compromising battery integrity. Let's face it, that in itself would be a remarkable feat, but it doesn't stop there. While lithium batteries suffer from degradation over time, losing capacity after a few years of use, aluminum proves to be a true marathon runner. In laboratory tests, these new batteries withstood more than 15,000 recharge cycles, maintaining more than 90% of their original capacity. Translating this into real life, we're talking about a car capable of driving over 1 million kilometers without needing a battery change. That's not just durability, it's longevity in its purest form. And safety also makes an impressive leap forward. As advanced as they are, lithium batteries still face the risk of thermal runaway, a phenomenon responsible for spontaneous fires in some cases. Aluminum batteries, on the other hand, are naturally stable, even under extreme temperatures, from 50 degrees C to 150 degrees C, without any risk of explosion. It's the kind of change that completely transforms consumer confidence. Imagine being in a closed garage, underground parking lot, or secluded road and knowing the risk is virtually zero. It's a relief, especially for those with families, children, pets, or simply who want to sleep soundly knowing their car is safe. Another key point is weight. Aluminum-ion batteries are about 65% lighter than lithium-ion batteries. This may seem like a mere technical detail, but it directly impacts vehicle performance. Less weight means faster acceleration, lower energy consumption per kilometer, and less wear on tires and suspension. In short, greater efficiency with less effort, and as a bonus, a much smaller environmental footprint. Now, imagine putting all this together: lightweight, ultra-fast charging, and thermal resistance. The result is an electric car that drives like a sports car, consumes energy like an electric bike, and requires so little maintenance that it resembles a home appliance. Plug in, use, recharge, and go. It may seem simple, but it's precisely this simplicity that has the power to win over even the most skeptical consumers. Tesla understands this perfectly and is investing heavily in this new technology package. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of all is recyclability. Unlike lithium, which requires expensive and polluting processes to be reused, aluminum can be recycled indefinitely without losing performance. It's estimated that 95% of the material can be reused, opening the way for a truly circular economy where old batteries can be reused at low cost and with minimal environmental impact. It's a vision of the future that combines sustainability and economic viability in a way the automotive industry has never achieved before. And it is precisely this sum of factors: speed, safety, durability, lightness, and recyclability that makes this silent revolution impossible to ignore. This isn't a simple incremental improvement, the kind that appears with one release and disappears with the next update. We're facing a true technological leap, a turning point capable of rendering even the most modern models that still rely on lithium obsolete. And the most incredible thing, this revolution already has a name, date, and address. With this solid technological foundation, Tesla is about to take a step that could change the history of electric mobility: the launch of the Model 2, scheduled for 2026, a car that promises to be the world's first truly mass-market electric vehicle. But it's important to make one thing clear: this isn't a cheap car in the traditional sense, with cuts and sacrifices in quality. The proposal is different: to create an affordable, efficient, and durable vehicle capable of competing on equal terms with combustion-powered cars and winning. The Tesla Model 2 is expected to hit the market costing around $17,000, a price that even by North American standards represents a complete departure from industry norms. For millions of people, it will be their first Tesla, not for status, but because it will finally fit within their budget. And the secret behind this revolutionary price lies in aluminum-ion batteries. With a production cost up to 75% lower than that of traditional lithium-ion batteries, this new component has gone from being a financial obstacle to being the driving force behind the democratization of electric cars. While a lithium battery pack used to cost around $15,000, Tesla estimates spending just over $3,500 for aluminum ones. This difference isn't just a cost savings, it's the game changer that will allow Teslas to be seen in working-class neighborhoods, small rural towns, among college students and retirees. This is technology finally reaching the hands of the people. But the impact of this revolution goes far beyond price. Thanks to a simplified structure and a production process up to 10 times faster, Tesla will be able to manufacture the Model 2 at an unprecedented scale. Fewer parts, less complexity, and fewer industrial bottlenecks mean a shorter cycle between idea and car delivery to the consumer, and many more units available to meet pent-up demand. After all, how many people do you know who dreamed of owning an electric car but gave up when they saw the final price at the dealership? Well, that barrier is about to disappear. And the Model 2 won't just be affordable, it'll be impressive. The new battery will allow for full recharges in under 10 minutes, greater range, and virtually no performance loss over the years. Plus, maintenance will be minimal. No constant fluid changes, no exhaust, no complex transmission. Owning a Tesla will no longer be a technological luxury but a practical and logical decision, one that makes sense in both the short and long term. Now imagine a low-income family that for decades only had access to used, polluting, and fuel-guzzling cars. With the Model 2, that same family will be able to drive a clean, modern, connected vehicle that costs less to operate than any gasoline-powered car. It's a silent shift, but one with profound consequences for urban mobility, rural transportation, and even the way people view work, leisure, and distance. When the cost of moving falls, the possibilities multiply. Tesla also knows that low price alone doesn't guarantee success. That's why the Model 2 will come equipped with the brand's best software and connectivity features. It won't be a scaled-down version, it's an optimized version, lean where it can be, and smart where it needs to be. This means the car will retain access to autopilot, Wi-Fi updates, a remote control app, and full integration with Tesla's ultra-fast charging system. In other words, the Model 2 doesn't just want to be the world's most affordable electric car. It wants to be the symbol of the definitive transition between the car of the future and the car of the people. In other words, the Model 2 won't just be a car, it'll be a platform. And that's precisely where Tesla finds itself at a strategic crossroads. Either it leads the next revolution with an affordable model, or it will see competitors like BYD and General Motors occupy that space. Elon Musk chose the riskiest, but also the most promising path. By placing the Model 2 at the center of its new strategy, Tesla makes it clear that it doesn't just want to dominate the premium segment. It wants to be present at all levels of the market, from the top to the entry level. And this is only possible thanks to its complete confidence in the new aluminum battery. It's curious to think that precisely the most underrated part of a car, the battery, has become the pillar of a new economy on wheels. Now, with aluminum chemistry at the heart of this revolution, it can unite what once seemed incompatible: performance, low cost, sustainability, and global scale, all in one package. The Model 2 isn't just a new vehicle. It represents a new era, a new audience, and a new way of thinking about mobility. Those who previously watched from afar are now about to take the wheel. And to make this possible, Tesla didn't just rely on bold numbers or marketing campaigns. It went straight to the root of the problem: battery design. The aluminum-ion cells that will power the Model 2 are completely different from the batteries used in electric cars today. They don't follow the cylindrical shape of Tesla's famous 4680 batteries. Instead, they adopt the soft pack format, a lighter and more flexible structure that takes up less space and allows for new internal configurations within the vehicle. This change opens up a range of possibilities for engineers and designers to completely rethink the car's interior. And the innovations don't stop there. These new cells feature self-healing electrodes, a fascinating concept. Instead of degrading with use, the internal materials restructure themselves after each charge and discharge cycle. repairing microcracks that, in lithium batteries, are the main cause of capacity loss over time. In other words, these batteries practically renew themselves, which guarantees a much longer useful life and fewer component replacements over the years. Another technical point that may seem discrete but is fundamental is the use of ionic liquid electrolytes, which are stable and non-flammable. This almost completely eliminates the risk of fires, even in extreme situations, such as collisions, freezing temperatures, or overheating. The result is an intrinsically safe battery that doesn't rely on layers and layers of electronic protection systems. For the consumer, this means peace of mind. For engineers, freedom to design simpler, lighter, and more efficient vehicles. Recycling these batteries is also another strategic differentiator. Instead of resorting to expensive and polluting methods, as with lithium, Tesla developed a dry recycling process that separates materials using pressure, vibration, and magnetic fields without corrosive acids or extreme temperatures. This method reduces recycling costs by up to 40% and does not generate toxic waste, transforming environmental responsibility into an economic advantage, something that governments and investors increasingly value. And the level of intelligence built into these batteries is impressive. They are organized into independent microcells, capable of activating only the necessary blocks as they are used. Just going to the bakery, only part of the battery is activated. Going on the road, the power distribution automatically adjusts to the terrain, the car's weight, and even your driving style. This system reduces internal wear, improves battery life, and even allows partial operation if a cell fails. It's literally a battery with a brain. This modularity also gives engineers unprecedented freedom when installing them. Without the limit of the cylindrical shape, the cells can be distributed under the floor, inside the doors, or behind the panels, optimizing the interior space and the vehicle's center of gravity. The result? More stable, quieter, and more spacious cars, all without having to reinvent the exterior design. It's a revolution hidden under the hood. But behind all this innovation, there is a greater goal: to guarantee Tesla total autonomy over its production chain. By eliminating lithium, the company not only reduces costs, but also avoids the sanctions, tariffs, and political risks associated with mining in unstable regions. This means predictability, something increasingly rare in times of global tensions. And it is precisely this predictability that can put Tesla years ahead of any competitor.